All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Monday market report. This is for the week ending March 12th, 2023. This seems like a continuation from last week because, again, in this report, we're going to be talking about more heavy hitting registry set worthy coins. Now, registry set worthy really comes down to the highest grade of their respective date and series. So we had a whole bunch more of those here again this week. Are registry sets coming back in a big way, or is the market just really, accepting of new pieces? And from the looks of things, it really is. So something to marvel at. A lot of people are jumping on the registry set, I guess, bandwagon. More people are getting into it and finding the excitement of finding some of these high marker type of premier specimens. Yeah, we have quite a sturdy list today. 20 coins, all from greatcollections.com. One of the most reliable auction websites for coin sales going right now, and especially in the registry set hotness that we're experiencing here lately. One of the top shelf auction companies for such. So yeah, I mean, pretty nice little list. I want to thank you guys for tuning in this week on the Monday Market Report. I'm your host Sean again, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this. Now, a little word of caution. Grading coins at the prospect of getting the highest grade is not child's play. It's a very expensive activity, and sometimes, most of the time, the coins will not grade out the way you want them to. There's a very kind of like discerning fine line when it gets close to the top, and if there's like a small nick, or maybe the strike's not too great on there, those are going to be some of the key factors that's going to play into why your coin it doesn't grade out to that higher echelon. So I just want to let you guys know that. Again, a very expensive thing to do, sending coins off haphazardly to the grading company if you're not really stingy on your own grading processes. So wanted to throw that out there. There are people that say, well, I got these, and I think they look a lot better than the coins you display on your videos. And it might be the case. Again, if you don't get the grade you're looking for, there is virtually no safety net. It's either you have to have that top grade, or you're going to be down, scraping away at what you could get with your coin. So there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in and see what we have here this week on the Monday Market Report. Starting out with yet again another 1992 Lincoln Memorial Cent. We talked about a similar coin like this, I'd say a few weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. That one might have been a Denver Mint. I'm not really sure, but it was the same grade. PCGS assigned this one as a Mint State 69 red, and that is indeed the top grade. There are a number of examples that did grade out at 69. It has to be a 69. I don't think there's any 70s. 69 seems to be the top grade for a lot of business strikes. And when we're talking, business strikes, there's only a scant few dates that fit that criteria. Other coins, maybe they cap out at about 68 plus, which is like a half grade point designator with that plus symbol. But overall, I mean, where did this one end up as? I know these things have sold for many thousands of dollars in the past, but we've seen more examples come to light. More people are sending these to the grading company, PCGS in particular. And I think we're seeing more enter the marketplace, but maybe not necessarily more people wanting this specific coin. This one sold for $1,126.12. Now, as a kind of like a plus addition to the registry sets that are available on both PCGS's and NGC's website, there are certain criteria where you can add proof coins into the mix. So again, this one is not, it is not a necessity for a standard Lincoln Cent registry, you could you could be in completist and do both business strike and proof into one set, and they do have something like that. But this is again another stalwart of the proof gems. This one grades out a perfect 70 on this 1982S, featuring full deep cameo devices. That really frosty appearance of the design devices, but also offset by just rich mirror black fields that has to both occur on the same coin. Love that label, by the way, with the American flag draped over on both the left and right side of that label. But yeah, perfect grade. This one sold for $1,575 here this evening. And yeah, that seems to be the going rate for a lot of the more common proof cents that grade out 70. Like mid 80s, late 80s, those particular type of dates specifically, we see a lot of proof 70 grades. All right, so we're going to jump into the proverbial, I guess, time machine a little bit further back and go all the way to the last date of the Lincoln wheat cent back design, 1958. Don't let the state fool you. It's a very scarce state to find at the highest grade level, and that particular bar is set at mid-state 67, and that's what we have here with this one. Full red. CAC also gave this one a little bit of its extra blessing. By the way, that company does not do CAC stickers anymore, so I have a feeling that CAC sticker coins are going to command more of a premium as we go on through time, because they have converted to a full grading service, and they are phasing out the CAC sticker certification. It's kind of like a conflict of interest at this point because, they are one of the graders now. So it's only going to be a matter of time before we see CAC graded coins come out into the marketplace. I'd figure give it 3 to 6 months, and then we're going to begin to see those pop up here and there on the market. This one right here, top graded, $2,418.75, was the final hammer price on another very tough Philadelphia minted coin. And then, we've just kind of leapfrogged all the other dates within the 50s, and now we're here at 1950. This is a San Francisco minted example. As you can see, in contrast to the P Mint, these things look a lot better. Not a total indictment on the P minted coins, because, they were just kind of dealt a bad hand of really poor planchette quality. So finding a clean example can be a little tricky. This one right here is a mid-state 67 plus, full red, and also CAC certified as well. So this one has it all going on. This one sold for $2,081.25. And then we have another not particularly tough date and grade. Well, the grade's pretty tough. It's the highest grade that you could realize for a 49S. But again, San Francisco minted coins generally present a little bit better quality than Philadelphia. So that's the big reason why that these grade a little bit better. But it doesn't downplay the fact that it's still a very tough grade to achieve if you are the one trying to go out and get this done. CAC certed as well, just like the previous coin. And again, another heavy hitter for a registry set. This will give you a lot of bonus points there. $1,687.50 was the sale price on this one. We did have a couple steel cents, both very nice. And again, we've talked a lot about the well-known RPM that you could find on the Denver minted coins. Again, this is something that is very cherry pickable, especially if you're an avid hunter on the show scene. I know these come up, on occasion. But you're going to look for that really strong RPM. The secondary Denver mid-mark is punched south and west of the primary. Sometimes if you catch the light just right, these are naked eye visible. But always use your magnifier to make sure you don't have some funky kind of like split plating or whatever. Those do tend to pop up when you least expect it. If you don't have a magnifier, that can be a little tricky. So this is always going to be a very hotly pursued variety because it is on the steel scent, and it's like one of the the first big RPMs or varieties for that matter to really kind of stake claim to this particular unique composition. Mint State 67, while not the highest technical grade on a steel scent, we actually have the next one that is the highest grade. Actually, no, it's not. It's a half a point lower, but it's still very, very relevant. This particular coin right here ended up selling for $5,175. If you're able to find one of these in mint state condition at some coin shop somewhere, congratulations. You're going to be making a boatload of money on this. There was also a mint state 66 example that did sell this evening as well for just over $2,000. Still, still again, very expensive, highly liquid, very, very nice coin. So here's that Mint State 68. This is what a 68 would look like this time on in Philadelphia. Kind of like little PL surfaces on there, which is kind of cool. You just don't see that too often. CAC certified, but PCGS gave this one all the gravy to go along with the turkey. And just a really, really beautiful coin. Again, this is going to be heading to some registry set. This one sold for $6,018.75. Massive amounts of money for this one. You're going to have probably a little bit easier time trying to find that RPM than you would a top flight, top graded, just steel scent, and then having to get a CAC certification if they're still doing that. I mean, best of luck. That's going to be a huge coin, and it is with this sale. But nothing beats the kind of strange date, and it seems to me that every time we see a 1941 P Lincoln that pops up on the auction scene, and they do come up. I think the last one was probably maybe 2 or 3 months ago. These things are incredible, but they have to be that Mint State 68 grade for it to really mean anything. And this is kind of like the hyper athletic type of grade that you would expect for a coin like this, because if it's anything less than this, it's not going to be worth nearly as much to a registry set collector. So I'm happy to announce that at this one right here, you could take all the previous 7 coins we talked about, put them all together. It would even add up to what this one sold for, and now it's $25,312.50. That might seem the most craziest asinine amount of money for what is commonly referred to as a date that's available. If you needed to go to a coin shop to pick up a mint state version of a 1941, you could most certainly do that for a few bucks. But this one right here just launched into a completely different level. This is a brand new car staring at us in the face. And sometimes we just don't realize it. Okay, now we're on to nickels. Nickels were a pretty fair bunch this week. We have this 1975D Jefferson right here. Again, a lot of the Jefferson nickels are going to be known and desired for their full strike. So this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 67 full stepper. That's what the FS designation is. This one right here is a coin that sold for $1,350. Again, it's a coin I'm kind of indifferent on. To me, the steps don't look like full steps. But, under different lighting, the coin in hand, it might serve as a completely different looking coin. Kind of hard to say. But this one is not in my hand for me to truly judge if it is. And we also have this 1948D. This is another big one. But, this is coming also from a particular decade where it's not really tough to find full steps. I've come across many full steps 1940s coins. Although, the one big thing that I do like and admire about this one is just the really unique toning on there. Some of that rose pink on the obverse, kind of surrounded by some olive greens on both sides of the coin is particularly attractive to me. And the nickel composition is just a tough composition to tone in this manner. So this is kind of a rarity here. Let's see, Mint State 67 Plus with full steps by PCGS. And this one sold for $1,632.38. And we also have a couple wartime silvers. These are very nice, actually. This is a 1943D. They have to be that Mint State 68 or higher for them to mean a whole lot to a registry set owner of Jefferson nickels. This one is a little bit tougher date. At Denver, usually the P mints are a lot more plentiful around these parts with high grades, but this is a Denver Mint State 68 with full steps is what you're looking at on this one. And this one sold for $5,906.25. And I think the toning really wins this one over, along with the crazy looking die file lines on the reverse. A Mint employee, I can imagine, was like cleaning up something pretty serious on this one particular reverse die. Don't know if it was a clash or something else that was semi-catastrophic, but to see it all in the reverse like that is crazy. And this is a very unique toning pattern here. You got the milky yellowish white surface on there, kind of like offset by a little bit more deeper rich colors there on the top of the coin. And the reverse is actually quite nice as well. You just don't see wartime silver that look like this. They have to be in sort of storage environment that necessitates this kind of toning. This one right here is sold for $3,425.62. And we did have one Buffalo, but I figure we throw on a very common date, 1936. This time NGC grabbed a hold of this one as a Mint State 68. So that's definitely where it needs to be. I believe there are higher graded examples of this date. There kind of has to be because there have been examples that have sold for 5 figures in the past. And I'm sure they're either 68 pluses or 69s. But overall, I mean, very clean looking example. It kind of has to be a 68. This one sold for $4,536. So not too bad for a coin that someone probably paid $20 for. And we do have dimes. All Roosevelts. Kind of strange. Just like last week, we had some pretty nice notable Roosevelt dimes. So this has got to be one of the top 5 toughest dates of the entire series to find with a full torch or full bands coin. And that's the 69 Philadelphia. This one right here is a Mint State 67 full bander. And yes, there are actually Roosevelt dime registry set people out there. And this one's going to be top of the list, along with the 1975 and a few others. So, when you do see one of these pop up, and again, that's probably once a year if you're lucky, maybe once every other year. That's how infrequently a 69P shows up. This one sold for $2,081.25. And a 67 as well. Keep in mind they didn't make mint sets during this year. It's either you find them in a BU roll, and hey, good luck with that. There's just not a whole lot of them out there these days. Or you find an old collection where one of these were put into an album at some point in mint state condition. And just hope that it will grade out as a 68 full bands. Now, this one has a lot of character to it. Much like the wartime silver nickel we saw a few minutes ago, this one has that crazy die file lines on. I see it more on the reverse on this one, but still, wow. A very, very, very nice coin. This one sold for the same amount of money as the 69, $2,081.25. So, yeah, pretty nice. And the final dime of this group is the 1958D. Again, another head scratcher. Like, man, this is a really common date, and it is. And they're all very well struck. So you're gonna have probably a harder time looking for one that's not as well struck for 1958, and especially Denver. But I think the toning here is what really captivated the attention of a lot of bidders here this week. Mint State 68, again, full bands. I'm sure they got a 1 point grade bump because of the color on there. This one ended up selling for $5,906.25. So another beast mode of a coin there. So we're going to wrap it up on a few quarters, and then we do have $1/2 today. We have this 1967 Washington quarter. Again, really tough to find in this grade because there was no mint sets. It was just SMS sets. So that was kind of a unique set of dates from 65 to 67 where, there really wasn't anything preserved from the business strike standpoint. You either kept full rolls, or you kept a bag, or you kept individual pieces all the way from, 56 years ago or whatever it is. Did I get my math right? I don't know. But anyways, this one sold for quite a nice little sum of cash. $1,600 is what this one went for. So, not too bad. But again, 68 is the grade where you have to be. Anything less than this is going to be nothing. You'll be lucky to get your submission fee for what you paid to send this off. We have other 1960s quarters. The couple very readily available silvers. How about 1962? All right, this is like one of the more expensive coins on the list. Again this week, and along with the next one, I mean they're kind of monstrous. The toning is just okay to me. It's more on the darker greens, very terminal, blackish browns type color. So, the toning it just shows originality, and that's the important part. Mid-State 67 Plus is going to be the grade. It has to have that plus grade for these things to be relevant in the market today. This one is sold for $3,616.88. But if you think this one is nasty, well, yeah, mic drop with the toning, with the olive greens and the kind of like, what was that, like a magenta, pink, purple, or something in there, all mixed in. Plus you have the bubbly kind of surfaces on there as well. Very nice, very personable coin. Now, I could see why this one is high on the list. But again, even without the toning, this is still a mondo expensive coin. We've seen comparable examples without toning sell in excess of $5,000. And we've also seen other dates like a 63D with this kind of toning would easily eclipse $10,000 because that's the more scarce date out of the group in this kind of like grade level. But this one, I mean, not too shabby. If I found this, it would be going to the grader and it'd be sold immediately. $7,593.75 was the final tally on this 1961D. And another great coin here. I mean, we all take for granted candy $half, especially the silvers, whether it's that one low 90% date or any of the 40%ers like 67 here. It's just we automatically assume that they have this capped ceiling of value, but we tend to forget that there are people that participate in registry sets specifically for candy $half. And that's where this one comes into play. Again, much like some of the other 1960s coins, you have to be a mid-state 67 plus for it to be quite meaningful. And ideally higher than that. 68 would be a top of the world for, these particular dates. But yeah, you can't really argue with the originality of that toning on the obverse. It looks like it could have been a roll ender at one point because the back is virtually spotless. So this one right here sold for $2,373.75 to kind of cap off this week's Monday Market Report sale. And that was a lot of fun. A lot of really crazy over-the-top stuff that we shared today. Again, the name of the game is registry sets. I don't know how long that's going to last, because we've seen these kind of go on a tear for about 1 to 2 months. I think because we're not yet at the summertime. The coins in general, all across the board, is very popular right now. buy rates are still through the roof, and all sorts of it's a great time to be in the hobby, but you better prepare to fork over some cash for some of your favorites. A lot of type coins, the popular ones especially, are really blistering white hot right now. So keep that in mind. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys again for tuning in. As always, it's a pleasure. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel and video. If you haven't done so already, come check me out on TikTok at BlueRidgeSilverhound. And that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. You guys take care. Have a great evening, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.